Don't get angry. Let it go. Don't get upset. Oh, it's just nothing. We've heard all of these comments perhaps being told to us, or we've heard these comments said to other people. Honestly, when a person is upset or when the person is angry, it's really hard to hear this from other people because they're not really understanding. They don't really show that they're understanding you, or that they see how frustrated you are, or that they really acknowledge your feelings. Most of anger comes from trivialities. Our Torah sources teach us that most of anger comes from being upset at really minor, small things that aren't really worth getting angry about. Unfortunately, they still do bother us, whether it's the spilled milk, whether it's something somebody said, or something somebody did. So how do we deal with it? How do we gain control over ourselves when something upsets us? Rabbi Zelik Pliskin, in his book Anger, the Inner Teacher, teaches us a number of methods. I'm going to share with you 3 methods, and all of them either eradicate anger completely or will help the person calm down after they become upset or angry. Method number 1 is you have to understand, or you have to analyze what has worked for you in the past. Think about times when you have been upset or angry or frustrated or patient, whatever character trait you want to improve. Think about times when it was difficult for you to become patient or overcome your anger, and you did it. Analyze and reflect back. How did you do it? Did it take you 10 minutes to overcome it? Did it take you an hour? Did it take you a day? Did it take you a walk in the park? Maybe a walk away from the house? Analyze what methods you took to overcome this anger. And some of us may think, oh, it only happened once. Really, am I really able to do it? The answer is, Rabbi Zelik Pliskin teaches us that if it happened even once, you've just created a resource in your brain to access it again. We know that the more a person does something, the more it becomes their nature. So habit becomes their nature. And the more I do something, the more it becomes a part of me. So a person can take upon new actions, new ways of handling a certain situation, and they'll be a whole new person. They can't even behave the way they behaved before. And those situations that used to anger them won't anger them anymore. So method number 1 is to analyze what has worked for you in the past. Method number 2 is called role playing, or the 2-chair method. In other words, think about the situation you're angry about or you're upset about, and you're going to sit on one chair. So on the first chair, let's call it chair A. So chair A is you, and you're basically saying loud and clearly, and you're perhaps yelling at the other person how you feel and why that person made you so upset. And you're basically saying it loud and clear why that person made you upset, how they made you feel, loudly and clearly, and let out your frustrations during this time. Feel free to express yourself as much as you want. But then you have to sit in a different chair, and that's person B, and that person is basically the person you're angry at, and you have to act the way that person would act. What would that person say to defend themselves? And you have to be honest. In other words, let's say it was role-playing person A, which is you. You're really upset at this person for coming home late. Let's say it's your husband. And role-playing B is, honey, I came late because, I had to do X, Y, and Z. I really wanted to come early. I tried to text you, it didn't work out. I had no service. So you're thinking about all the ways that perhaps person B could be right and defends themselves. In this way, the situation will help you calm down. And you could go back and forth as much as you want until you have collected your thoughts. This method helps you to calm down, gain perspective, give benefit of the doubt, and take the next best step forward. Another method is called write a letter, but don't send. Basically, you're writing a letter It doesn't have to be punctuated perfectly, spelled correctly. You're just really just writing as much as you can, as fast as you can, all your feelings, all your frustration, why you're upset at this person. But remember just to tear the paper, the letter into little pieces. Please do not send the letter. Make sure that, because you don't want the other person to see how upset you are until you have collected yourself. You can always say what you have to say later, but this is just to let out your frustrations. Because when we are upset at someone or a situation, our feelings create another problem. And in other words, we'll have to fix this problem as well. We've just created another problem. Will perhaps a person who's very upset, when they haven't collected their thoughts, they'll say and do things they regret, and basically they've just created another problem. And to bypass this problem, a person needs to calm down. These 3 ways will help the person gain perspective, calm down, and with a clear head, hopefully contemplate a better way to solve the issue at hand. God willing, may we merit to solve our problems, solve our issues by gaining control of ourselves, and hopefully merit to solve our problems calmly and successfully. Leah Abramov, Being and Becoming.